Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Today I am discussing the practical on prescription writing for IBD. It also stands for inflammatory bowel disease. For any prescription writing, you will be firstly given a scenario. You have to solve the scenario and diagnose the condition or the disease, and then further you will be writing the prescription for that disease. So the scenario in this case is a 24-year-old girl suffering from severe diarrhea along with abdominal pain and cramps for last 6 months. Previous week she noted blood and mucus in her stool. She has reduced appetite and unintended weight loss. Diagnose and treat the patient. So from the signs and symptoms that are given in the history, it indicates that the patient is suffering from some disease or some problem that is occurring in her GI tract. As these are the symptoms, signs and symptoms, the severe diarrhea, abdominal pain, and cramps, these are all the symptoms that are related to her gut. Next, the previous week she noted the blood and mucus in her stool. As the blood and mucus are present in her stool, they indicate some infection or inflammation that is going on in her GI tract. So the presence of blood and mucus in any stool, in the stool or any fluid in the body, it indicates the inflammation or infection at that particular site. She has reduced appetite and unintended weight loss. As the weight loss is not intended, she is experiencing this weight loss just because of the inflammatory disease of the bowel. As whatever she eats is not being absorbed because of the inflammation of the bowel, so she is experiencing the weight loss. Diagnose and treat the patient. So, from these symptoms, we diagnose the disease as inflammatory bowel disease or inflammatory disease of the bowel. Inflammatory bowel disease or IBD is a term for two conditions, that is Crohn's disease and ulcerative colitis. They are characterized by the chronic inflammation of the gastrointestinal tract. Prolonged inflammation results in damage to the GI tract. So the prolonged inflammation results in damage to GI tract, and hence there is the presence of blood and mucus in her stool. So diagnosis is IBD. In prescription writing, there are certain steps which you have to follow. So the number one step is diagnosis. Regarding the signs and symptoms of the patient and the history given, the most probable diagnosis in this case is inflammatory bowel disease or IBD. Next step is therapeutic objectives. Therapeutic objectives or therapeutic goals. These are certain goals that must be achieved or fulfilled for certain diseases. To relieve the symptoms of the patient and also for the treatment of disease, we must eradicate the disease. The major therapeutic goals in this case are reduce acute episodes. Acute episodes of diarrhea, abdominal pain, and cramps, they must be reduced. And number two is the removal of the disease. So there are certain drugs that are used for this purpose and they are used for the treatment of this disease. And the next step is list of drug groups. For every disease, there are certain group of drugs that can be used for the treatment. So for this disease, we have three types of drug groups that can be used. Number one is aminosalicylates. Aminosalicylates are a group of drugs that can help to control the symptoms of some inflammatory gut diseases such as ulcerative colitis and Crohn's disease. These drugs contain 5-aminosalicylic acid. 5-aminosalicylic acid differs from salicylic acid only by the addition of an amino group at the 5, that is meta position. Drugs included are sulfasalazine, olsalazine, and mesalamine. Next is corticosteroids. Corticosteroids, as you all know, are anti-inflammatory agents used wherever there is inflammation in the body. Patients with moderately active disease who are unresponsive or intolerant to aminosalicylates, they require corticosteroids. And the drug included is dexamethasone that is used for the treatment of IBD. Next is immunosuppressants, antimetabolites. Immunosuppressants, as their name suggests, immunosuppressants suppress the immune system. They are helpful in IBD because in doing so, they also reduce the levels of inflammation. Drugs included are methotrexate, azathioprine, etc. So these are the three groups of drugs that can be used for the treatment of IBD. Step number 4. Now in this slide we will compare the characteristics of these drug groups and then we'll choose the best drug or drug of choice for the disease. So number 1 is aminosalicylates, then we have corticosteroids and then immunosuppressants. So we have divided the characteristics into efficacy, safety, suitability and cost effectiveness of the drugs. So the main goals of the drug development are effectiveness and safety. Because all drugs can harm as well as help, safety is basically relative. The difference between the usual effective dose and the dose that causes severe life-threatening side effects is called the margin of safety. So aminosalicylates, it includes a drug which is mesalamine. Its efficacy is the highest as compared to the other drugs. Next we have safety. So it's basically, we can call it as the margin of safety. Headache and constipation, these are the complications of the aminosalicylic acids or aminosalicylates. They can occur if the aminosalicylates level exceed this margin of safety. Next, suitability. These drugs are suitable against allergic reactions and they are the most suitable drug as compared to other drugs. Mesalamine doesn't cause the allergic reaction, while the sulfasalazine, it can lead to hypersensitive reactions in the body. Coming on to the cost, these are the most cost-effective agents or the drugs as compared to other agents. Next, we have corticosteroids or dexamethasone. These are also having the highest efficacy, but for the acute phases and also for the diseases that are intolerant, are not responsive to aminosalicylates. Next, the anxiety and palpitations will also occur if they exceed the margin of safety. Suitable, they are less suitable than the aminosalicylates, and cost, they are also cost effective as compared to immunosuppressant agents. These are the least efficacious drugs, immunosuppressants. Next we have the safety. They can lead to the black stool, swelling of lower leg if they exceed the margin of safety. Suitable, they are least suitable as compared to aminosalicylates, and cost, they are the highly expensive drugs as compared to the aminosalicylates. So the next is step number 5. We have to choose a group. So from the previous discussion, we can clearly see that aminosalicylates are the most efficacious drugs. They are safe, they are the most suitable, and they are also the highly cost-effective drugs as compared to the other drugs. So we will choose a group of drug that is aminosalicylates, and the drug included in this group is mesalamine. Next, coming on to the prescription writing. This is a proper format of the prescription. You have to follow this format while writing the prescription for any disease. Number 1 is the doctors and credentials. They should be written at the right upper corner. Doctor's name, for example XYZ, qualification details, MBBS and FCPS, clinic address and the contact number. They all should be written right here. Below the doctors and credentials, at the left upper corner, you have to write the details of the patient. Patient name, ABC, age, as in this case, the age of the patient is 24 years, sex is female, she is a female patient, address and then date. Below this, you have to write the presenting complaints. The PC, this is the abbreviation for presenting complaint. It stands for presenting complaint. So you have to write the detailed signs and symptoms with which the patient has presented to you. So presenting complaints are the complaints with which the patient presents to a doctor in the clinic or at the hospital. So number 1 is the diarrhea. Patient has experienced diarrhea, abdominal pain with cramps, reduced appetite and weight loss. You have to write the symptoms with their duration, and you have to write the symptoms in the chronological order. That is, the symptom that occurs before, you have to write upwards, and the current or acute symptoms you have to write at the lower side. Then you have to write the symptom that she is experiencing for the 1 week. That is the blood with mucus and stool. So it's from 1 week. This is the acute symptom she was experiencing, and these are the chronic symptoms which she was experiencing for the last 6 months. Below this, this is a sign or a symbol of diagnosis. The smaller triangle, you have to write IBD, which is the inflammatory bowel disease, which is diagnosis. Below the diagnosis, you have to write the treatment. RX is a symbol that denotes the treatment. So next you have to write the treatment which you are prescribing to the patient for this disease. Number one is tablet mesalamine. Tablet mesalamine is basically also known as the mesalazine, and it is an amino salicylic acid derivative. Is a medication that is used to treat the inflammatory bowel disease, including the ulcerative colitis and Crohn's disease. It is generally used for mildly to moderately severe disease, and it is the first line of drug that is used for the treatment of IBD. Then you have to write the dosage of the drug. First you have to write the name of drug, and after that you have to write the dose of the drug which you are prescribing to your patient. For example, the dose of the mesalamine is 250 mg. That's written here. After that you have to write how she has to take it, whether it's per oral or it's through IV injections or whatever. So as it is the tablet, so she has to take it per orally. Then OD stands for once daily for 14 days. You have to write the drug, its dose, how to take the drug, how often she has to take in a day, for example once daily, and for how many days, or how what is the duration of the treatment. This is 14 days. Next is the tablet methotrexate. Methotrexate, formerly known as amitriptyline, is a chemotherapy agent and immune system suppressant. It is also used to treat the cancers and inflammatory conditions in the body. So its dose is 2.5 mg per oral, OD for 14 days. Next you have to write tablet dexamethasone. Dexamethasone is a steroid that is given to a patient. It is used in the treatment of many conditions, including rheumatic diseases in the patient, autoimmune diseases. We also use the corticosteroids. So its dose is 1 mg per oral, OD for 14 days. Then you have to taper, that is 0.5 mg, half the tablet, taper off for 5 days. Why the steroids should not be stopped abruptly? Steroids use cannot be stopped abruptly. Tapering the drug gives the adrenal glands time to return to their normal patterns of secretion of cortisol. So if we stop abruptly, withdrawal symptoms like fatigue, weakness, diarrhea, they will occur and can cause further complication. That's why they need to be tapered down. They need not to be stopped abruptly. Next, we have to write the investigations at the lower left corner. That is colonoscopy. So colonoscopy is basically an exam used to detect the changes or abnormalities in the large intestine and rectum. During a colonoscopy, a long flexible tube, that is colonoscope, is inserted into the rectum. A tiny video camera at the tip of the tube, it allows the doctor to view the inside of the entire colon. So it is the investigation that you will prescribe to the patient. And lastly, the doctor will be writing his name and the PMDC number at the right lower corner. And this is how we write the prescription for any disease, but specifically for IBD, this is the prescription format. Thank you.